So, hello there everyone, and welcome. It is Niran here, and today it is time for me to bring you the 10 things you should not be doing on FIFA 19 career mode. And I'm going to explain, I'm going to elaborate. Basically today, I'm going to be bringing you a list of things that are often very bad habits in FIFA career mode that even I do sometimes. I'm not going to lie, I do these sometimes, but you just shouldn't be doing them. So if you go on to enjoy the video, slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. But now it is time to get into proceedings. And first of all, we've got, don't just sign the same old WONDERKIDS. It can be very, very easy sometimes to just go on to FIFA, go on to FUTWIZ, search for the best potential players on the game, and just think, okay, I'm going to sign them. I see a lot of Twitter accounts that are dedicated to career mode, and a lot of them do this, which surprises me, and this is no dig, they're brilliant accounts, but a lot of them, when they're doing career mode saves, just sign your Mbappes, your Asensios, your Sanes, and it's just boring. Like, if you want to actually have any longevity on this game, and you want to have any sustained period of time on a career mode, or with multiple career modes, you can't just sign the same generic, really good players. There's plenty of high potential players on career mode to go around. Try and find some hidden gems. Even if you do want to go on FIFA and FUTWIZ or whatever to find those players, just spice it up. Have some different players in each career mode save, because if you end up with the same team every time or aspire to have the same players and same WONDERKIDS, you're not going to get any enjoyment out of it. Utilize the training system, utilize loan glitching, which I've explained in a different video, because if you want a hidden gem who performs really well for you, there are ways to make sure they're as good as your generic WONDERKIDS, like your Mbappes. You can train someone who has 85 potential to 90 if you really want to. You can potential boost them to that sort of level as well. What I'm trying to say is, just choose some different players every single time, alright? Now, number 2 is to do with signing players. If you're bringing someone in to the club, you have 2 options usually. The first of all is to negotiate, and the second is to delegate. That works for both buying players and loaning players as well. And there is one that you definitely should not be doing, and that is negotiating, alright? Delegate every single time. Do not negotiate. I realize it means you'll miss out on the little cutscenes that we got in FIFA 18, but let's be honest, everyone is bored of those by this point already. So just go ahead and delegate, because every single time you'll end up with a better deal. When it comes to transfer bids, your executive or chief executive or assistant manager will be able to get a better deal than you do if you go into the negotiations. The other team will ask for less money for a transfer bid, so that'll save you, if you're buying a player for 15 mil, that'll save you a couple of £1 million in comparison to negotiating. And when it comes to also doing wages and contract negotiations, you'll also not have to use bonuses on players if you delegate that as well. So overall, you might save £3-4 million in a combination of the bid itself and also on bonuses as well that you'd have to give to players, like appearances or goals, or even just actual contract bonuses as well. That is a really good way of saving money, especially if you're doing a road to glory and you need every penny you can possibly have. Point number 3, don't use Scout Top Player or Scout Future Star or whatever it's called in the EASFC catalogue. It's literally, it's a waste of a slot in your youth academy more than anything. It doesn't get you a good player. For some reason, since FIFA 18 came out, this always gets you extremely average players. Usually they've got an okay starting overall. It's usually at least in the high 50s or in the low 60s, which sounds very good, but their potential is usually like 75. It's just pointless. You're looking for players who are going to have 80 or 90 potential, usually in the 90s, and a lot of the time when you've got good scouts, you actually struggle to find room in your youth academy. It's just a waste. Spend the coins in the catalogue on getting a financial takeover, or doing something else, or upgrading your pro on pro clubs, or doing stuff on Ultimate Team. It is literally the biggest waste in the world, because it literally gets you below average youth academy players, despite what its name tag actually would suggest. Now, number 4 is a bit of an interesting one, because it's actually a glitch that it's being precautionary about. But if you have a player whose contract is expiring, do not give them a 1-year contract if the month is January or later. It's gonna cause you serious issues, because sometimes if you give a player a 1-year contract when they're in their final year, it doesn't actually add the year on. It's a lot less frequent than it was in FIFA 18. This would literally happen every single time you did it in FIFA 18, whereas now it only happens sometimes on FIFA 19. But just generally speaking, if you say delegate a contract renewal and the assistant manager says, yep, I've got a 1-year contract for a player, don't sign it. Renegotiate, go into negotiations, even though you've got to pay a bonus. Just for the love of God, don't sign that 1-year contract, because if you do get locked into it and it doesn't add the extra 1 year on, you can't renegotiate the contract until like June or July, and by which time the player has probably signed for someone else on a pre-contract agreement if they're over the age of 23. If they're below the age of 23, doesn't really make a difference. You should be able to offer them a new contract just before the season ends in June, before they would get released. But if it's a player above 23, you can go on a pre-contract agreement, renegotiate, give them at least a 2-year contract so that this glitch does not happen. Number 5 is slightly similar to the first point, but it's to do with teams rather than players. Don't be generic in the sides that you're choosing. Like, it's the biggest bore when you're using a team that you've either used loads of times or that everybody uses. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a Portsmouth Road to Glory, okay? But if you've already done a couple of career modes and you fancy a bit of something different and you fancy something to engage yourself, don't choose a Portsmouth Road to Glory, because you're gonna get bored, because everyone does them. Choose a different team. Choose a team in a different league. The German third league is such an underused league, and I know it's because people don't have maybe as much knowledge, but do a different Road to Glory in a different country so you can sign some different players and just generally have a different experience. That is one tip I would definitely give. Just don't use generic teams. Number 6 now, and this is to do with not ignoring the smaller objectives. You'll always get board objectives at the start of each season, and it's very easy to get caught up on the domestic objective and also, if applicable, the European objective as well. But there's so many others that do actually have an influence on your job. If you're underachieving domestically, you don't want to get the sack because you didn't actually secure the youth academy objective. They're so easy to do these ones. Just do them. Don't ignore them, because they can make a difference. Like, if you have underperformed quite a lot across the course of a season in the league, say you were meant to win the Premier League but you only finished 5th in the league and you're in the Europa League, doing youth academy objectives or even the financial objectives can actually save your bacon, because they can give you a manager rating of maybe +5 or +10, so that you're not actually getting kicked out of the door at the end of the season. You might have one more chance to actually do the domestic objective the next season. Number 7 is very self-explanatory, and I'm sure a lot of you will know, but don't sign players above the age of 32. It's a waste of time and a waste of money. If you want to sign some older players in a Road to Glory to keep things realistic, then that's absolutely fine. You know, your 28-year-olds, 29-year-olds, even 30-year-olds, but by the time someone reaches the age of 32, their physicals are going to be going down so much, their overalls are going to be going down so much, that they're useless to have in terms of sim games and in terms of playing with them as well, because they'll have no pace, no agility, and no strength realistically as well, and they'll just decrease in value. You'll make a loss on them, they won't be all that good to use when you actually sign them, and by the time you get to the season after that, they'll be probably quite useless in comparison to how good they were when you brought them in. It's just pointless. Don't do it. The way the rating system works on this game literally makes it a completely pointless venture. But Ultimate 1 now, and this is not to sim games using the calendar. I know it's quicker and a little bit more convenient, but you're gonna lose more games. Like, the team selection is always off from your assistant manager if you sim games on the calendar, because you don't get the chance to pick the game. You don't have the chance to pick the team, sorry. The team that you have in your squad hub is not the team that will play games if you sim on the calendar, where if you sim each game individually, it will do. So if you're looking for good results, then don't sim on the calendar. If you just want to sim through a season and you don't really care, then fine, you can sim through the calendar. But if you're wanting or needing good results, don't use it, just sim each game individually. And now finally, once again about transfers, do not negotiate for players when you haven't actually scouted them yet. It sounds really stupid, but you won't know how much to bid for them. It's not even necessarily to do with how much they're gonna be rated or what their potential is. If you really want to, you can cheat and go on FIFA if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd like to keep it more natural. but you can do that. It's more to do with how much money you need to spend and how much you need to spend on wages and bonuses and stuff. You can easily overpay massively if you don't know what you're actually meant to be bidding, because you'll always be more cautious. If you think a player's worth 20 mil and you don't know, you're probably going to offer like 25, whereas you maybe could have got away with 17 or 18. Usually when they're scouted, the actual valuation that the CEO gives you, or their actual transfer value, is actually very accurate, and you can just go ahead and bid that one. Whereas if you don't know, you're obviously stepping into the unknown and probably paying a lot more than you should be doing. That, though, is absolutely everything for the things that I would not do, or that you just shouldn't generally do on FIFA 19 career mode. If you have any others, drop them down in the comment section below and I can be sure to make a second one of these, or I can make a video saying what you should be doing on FIFA 19 career mode. Let me know about that down in the comment section as well. But if you enjoyed this video, slap a like on it and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. You can also follow me on social media these days too. My Twitter and Insta are at @theofficialfng and links are down below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Yeah, you the best, no lie.